Hello and welcome to another video of mine. It's Kemal AA, and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys, where I'll keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the previous 24 hours. And some big news stories in regards to a swap deal between Christian Eriksen and Jorginho, potentially Jorginho going the other way to Inter Milan with Eriksen coming to Chelsea. Also be discussing the latest news on Hakim Ziyech and how he could potentially be going out on loan to either Juventus or AC Milan back to the Serie A, just despite his poor performances and the fact that he hasn't been able to settle in. He's been struggling to adapt, and he had a very poor performance against Barnsley. I'll be delving into news stories and giving my thoughts, opinions, and finally we'll be touching upon Thomas Tuchel's press conference, which he conducted today for the Newcastle game Monday evening. It's not really a preview, just touching up on some injury news, giving you guys the latest news on that. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But let's get straight into today's Chelsea news daily video. Now, starting off with the big news story, and that is in regards to Christian Eriksen. Now, this is broken by an Italian publication, Calcio Mercato Web, stating that Chelsea are willing to accept Inter Milan's proposal to swap Eriksen for Jorginho, but the Blues want the Serie A team to pay €20 million plus Eriksen for Jorginho. Now, immediately I've got massive question marks straight away. Now, I will be giving my thoughts, opinions on Christian Eriksen as a player, and whether I think this move is logical, realistic, or financially, realistic. But straight away, the source is not the most credible. It's not the most reliable source. They are quite equivalent to, the Sun. They are more the Italian Sun, so I wouldn't take this too seriously. It's not exactly too legitimate. Take it with a pinch of salt, with a grain of salt, because I don't see this being realistic. Now, if you cast your minds back to the summer window, Inter Milan were extremely interested in signing N'Golo Kante. However, they didn't have the funds to outright pay for him, which would be in the region of £70 to £80 million, and so therefore they offered Christian Eriksen in return, plus cash to sign N'Golo Kante. Now, the issue here is Chelsea didn't want Christian Eriksen, and secondly, we already have an abundance of attacking talent. We just signed Hakim Ziyech, we've got Kai Havertz, we've got Mason Mount. We don't need another creative attacking player who's 20 years of age, who has been abysmal Inter Milan. He hasn't performed at the highest levels, and if anything, the Inter Milan hierarchy want to sell him. Now, my thoughts, opinions on Eriksen. Don't get me wrong, Eriksen is a top player, especially when he was in the Premier League. I loved the way he played, his style of play, his attributes, relatively dynamic, fantastic set-piece taker, very good passer as well, nice pass of the ball, very good technical ability. When it comes to talent, Christian Eriksen is a very good player. However, for me, the fact that he hasn't been at his best for over a year now, potentially 18 months, and of course towards his last 6 months at Tottenham he wasn't great either, and the fact that he's closing and edging towards that that 30 age mark could potentially indicate that he could be past his prime and slowly on the way, slowly declining, if that makes sense. So for me, I wouldn't want it. Plus, this doesn't make any sense because we were offered Eriksen in the summer and Chelsea outright rejected him. We don't need him. Again, we have a lot of attacking talent, and the players that we're linked with, the attacking players that we want to sign, they're a much higher caliber compared to Eriksen. Eriksen, as I said, he's on astronomical wages. He's on over £220,000 a week. So factor that in. If he comes back to the Premier League, he's going to be demanding, similar wages, if not higher. And I don't think Chelsea can be willing to spend over £200,000 a week. Plus plus the fact that we got to sign him as well. Agent fees, when you factor that in as well, his wages, and the fact that he's almost 29 years of age, I'm not sure. It doesn't make any financial sense. It's not realistic, and he's not actually guaranteed game time either. When you got Kai Havertz, when you got Ziyech, does he fit into Thomas Tuchel's plans? You really got to consider all these factors. And then the other factor as well, Jorginho. Why would Chelsea involve Jorginho in this swap deal? He is in Thomas Tuchel's plans. Jorginho is one of our best midfielders, whether you like it or not. He's a very technically gifted player, good passing. He has got weaknesses, and of course, if you play the right system around him, you can cover up his weaknesses, but he has a lot of strengths. You play Jorginho in the correct system, you will get world-class performances. Great pass of the ball, dictates the tempo of the game, has some nice attributes. He's a leader on the pitch as well. He's our vice-captain. He moves the ball nicely. His positioning, his footballing brain, his footballing IQ is high level as well. And he's in Thomas Tuchel's plans. So, he plays pretty much in our first team week in, week out. So this doesn't make any sense whatsoever, hence why I don't believe this will happen or materialise. I don't think Chelsea are even interested in signing Christian Eriksen, hence why there's not too much in this room. And as I said at the start of this video, take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a pinch of salt, because at the end of the day, Christian Eriksen, as I said, was fantastic in the Premier League. He's moved on now. I think that ship sailed. It's been over 18 months since he's been fantastic. and he hasn't been that great in Serie A. If you look at his statistics in Serie A for goals and assists, I know that you need to be careful when looking at statistics, but even speaking to some Serie A and Inter Milan fans, they've also said that he's not been amazing, and the fact that Inter Milan want to get rid of him, that should tell you everything. That's just my thoughts, opinions. If it was a couple of years ago, yes, I would be taking Eriksen, but I think not anymore. He's past his prime. But what do you guys think? Would you take Christian Eriksen at Chelsea? Would you involve Jorginho in a swap deal? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And let's move on to the next report. The next report is in regards to Hakim Ziyech. And again, same source, Calcio Mercato Web, an Italian publication. Juventus and AC Milan are monitoring Hakim Ziyech's situation at Chelsea and are prepared to offer him a route out via a loan deal. Now again, massive question marks on the source. Now, as I said, as I just read that little piece, that little sentence, a couple of sentences to you there, guys. Big question marks. Like, immediately, this doesn't make any sense. Number one, we've just signed Hakim Ziyech. He's been at Chelsea since we agreed to sign him. It was exactly a year ago. He's only had one full 90 minutes at Chelsea since he's put on that Chelsea shirt. He's been riddled with injuries. He didn't play for months and months because of the COVID regulations, because Dutch football halted. They couldn't finish the Dutch season. So therefore, he had a 3-4 month break from football. He came in, he got injured in pre-season, took him a few weeks, and then he got injured again after putting a couple of world-class performances. He hasn't got going. I rate Ziyech highly as a player. Technically very gifted. Good footballing brain, good footballing IQ. Magnificent pass of the ball, a wizard. He's a wizard when it comes to passing the ball. Fantastic long shotter, great movement in between lines, high press, good energy, good attitude as well. The problem I have here is the loan deal it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to get rid of Ziyech, you're going to demand a fee. Loan deal doesn't make sense. He's not a young player. Ziyech is going to be 28 soon. He's going to be 28 in the coming months, or in the next few months he's going to be 28 years of age. So Ziyech is in his prime. You don't need a loan deal unless this included obligation to buy. This wouldn't make any sense, And the fact that he's just coming to Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel is giving every single player a clean slate. He played last night and he was very poor. I'll be honest. Ziyech had a very, very poor game. Kept giving away the possession, kept giving the ball away. However, I think that it's going to take time for Ziyech to settle, time for him to adapt to Thomas Tuchel's new ideologies, his new method and philosophy, and I think in the coming weeks you will start seeing the best of Hakim Ziyech. I think that it's only right that we give Ziyech time. He's still adapting to the Premier League, and I think he will become fantastic. He is simply a world-class player. So I think this news is nonsense, it's rubbish. I wouldn't take it too seriously. Again, question the source. Calcio Mercato, not the most reliable or the most credible source in Italy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that AC Milan are not interested. I do believe AC Milan would be interested, but I just don't think Chelsea have put him on the transfer list. I think Chelsea want to keep him. Again, he's just coming to Chelsea. He was part of Chelsea's plans. He's a world-class player. He's one of our only creative players that we have. He's simply a match winner. You need match winners in your team. You need match winners in your squad. So therefore, Ziyech, he needs time. Give Ziyech the resources and the tools. And yeah, I think again, it's a bit of a nonsense rumour, so I wouldn't take it too literally. Now, getting into Thomas Tuchel's press conference, this won't be going over. This is not going to be me going over Thomas Tuchel's full press conference or the summary of it, because that will be done for the preview against Newcastle. I'm simply going to give you guys some injury team news. Now, of course, Thiago Silva, Kai Havertz did not feature against Barnsley, and as I said in the preview a couple of days ago, he's missing. Where is Kai Havertz? We need to go on a mission here. Find Kai Havertz. We need a search party to go and find him. He's been missing. He hasn't been asked by any reporter in a press conference. Thomas Tuchel's not spoken about it. No one knows the situation with Kai Havertz. Now, finally, in the press conference, we got our answer, and the fact that he's simply just injured at the moment. He was spoken about how he needs to adapt. He's got fantastic potential. He's world class. We know all about that. You don't need to hear about that. The main thing is that he's currently injured. He's not going to be available for Newcastle. And in regards to Thiago Silva, he said that it's too early for Thiago Silva to return for Newcastle, but they are trying to get him back for Southampton. I don't think he can play a full 90 against Southampton, but he may get some minutes to boost his match fitness. And the same can be said for Kai Havertz as well. But Kai Havertz and Thiago Silva are highly unlikely to feature against Newcastle on Monday night. And that is the latest on injury team news. Of course, Kante has returned back to full match fitness. And apart from that, we haven't really got injuries. Christensen, he got taken off because he had a bit of a headache, according to Thomas Tuchel, but he should be fine for the Newcastle game. So, thankfully, those are two injuries. They're massive injuries, but hopefully things do pan out. And Werner, he had a dead leg as well against Sheffield United. He should be ready and available for the Newcastle game. But that is the latest injury news for you guys. If you did enjoy this news daily video for you guys, hit the smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.